Bilious thunderguff is a chaos giant blessed by Nurgle, who has weaponized his chronic indigestion into noxious gale force emissions. His foul stench is so overwhelming that even the chaos worshippers of rival gods avoid him, and his presence alone can clear a battlefield. Though shunned by most, his destructive power earns him a place among Nurgle's forces. His noxious blast can scatter cavalry and rot wood to mulch with a touch. In Bretonnia, thunderguff is notorious for breaking sieges and humiliating knights unable to withstand his rancid assaults. Duke Bohemond of Baston is even vowed to slay him in the lady's name, but few believe he stands a chance. At the ruined town of Liberstrike, Festus the Lich Lord discovered a grotesque boil festering on a dying stonehorn. As Festus' followers clamored to lance the massive pustule, he waited with reverent patience, denying them the chance to bask in Nurgle blessings too soon. Hours later, the boil erupted, drenching the followers in pus. Some dissolved unworthy, others mutated into blessed forms. From the foul eruption rose a hulking great unclean one, furuncle, born from wrath and devotion. Festus welcomed him with joy, for the horrific spectacle had birthed one of Nurgle's greatest champions. Furuncle, avatar of filth and mutation, had arrived to spread the grandfather's love with bloated power and infectious glee. The Rotting Riders were among the first to join Cades the Befouled, donning corroded armor and riding decaying yet resilient steeds. Despite their grotesque appearance, they are fierce and unrelenting in battle. After the fighting ends, they spread Nurgle blessings among the wounded. Those who survive join the ranks, while the rest are devoured by their beasts. Their brutal effectiveness was proven during the carnage at Zambaijin, where they outmaneuvered Sargat the Vain chariots and slaughtered his riders. Though just one clash in a greater war, their savagery caught eye of the Maggot Lord. The Rotting Riders now stand as a testament to Nurgle's favor, spreading death, decay, and plague in his name.
A toad dragon is a huge reeking primordial reptilian horror that dwells in the northern wastes. These colossal beasts are near mindless, violent, and almost impossible to kill, and have a dire repute in the legends of the northern wastes, which name them dragons for their appearance and raw power. The strength of a toad dragon is prodigious, as is its appetite. While its tainted breath is so corrosively foul, it can liquefy flesh and wither steel in mere moments. Those it does not devour or smash flat, it can smother beneath its feculent bulk as it crawls across the earth, its questing tongue darting out with terrifying speed to snatch up more victims to disappear down its yawning maw.
Certain elite Chaos Knights of Nurgle, known as Rot Knights, have been blessed with the mark of Nurgle and the power to ride the monstrous mutant steeds, known as Rot Beast, into battle. Although the Chaos armor they wear has grown rusty with time, the Rot Knights can still take a beating, sacrificing some of their speed for thicker skin with the ability to regenerate even the most mortal blows. The Rot Knights bear their disfigurements openly, proud of their dribbling swords and discolored skin, at odds with their exalted position on the battlefield. Indeed, the faded appearance of the Plague Lord's malicious Rot Knights belies their illustrious standing, their sickening surge spearheaded by lances glistening with ichor and droplets of pus. In battle, a full squadron of Rot Knights will lit a battle line like a mailed fist of the gods.
The Noxbringer is a towering half-demonic war engine of Nurgle, scuttling sideways on crab-like legs to spread filth and decay across the chaos wastes. Constantly battling rival demons, it is a fearsome force within Nurgle's garden. It famously slew the bloodthirster Skalathrax the Everwrath, unleashing a lethal fungal bloom in Khorne's domain. In Tzeentch's realm, it ruined the Plane of Illusions, toppling crystalline constructs and thwarting decades of scheming. It even assaulted the twisted towers of Slaanesh, bombarding them with gas grenades that left defenders numb and senseless. Lyricia, arch-temptress of the palace, was driven to madness by its aftermath, unable to feel pain or pleasure. As the Dark Prince turned away from her broken form, the Noxbringer moved on, leaving only ruin in its wake.
The rotting bowels of the great Unclean ones swell with pus and contagion, and within each swelling there grows a tiny and malevolent demon, called a Nurgling. Physically, Nurglings are miniature versions of Nurgle himself, with friendly, mischievous faces, tiny bloated green bodies, and limbs that are often distorted or disproportionate. When faced with an enemy, they advance in a furious swarm, clawing and gnawing at the foe's leg, biting his ankles, and licking at any interesting sores or abrasions they discover. Their tiny teeth are as sharp as razors, leaving festering little bites upon their victims, but rarely killing them outright, although such an attack can prove to be the beginning of a long disease-ridden demise, as something nasty takes root in the wound.
Pestigors are a feared faction of beastmen born under the influence of Nurgle, the chaos god of disease. Their grotesque appearances feature festering wounds, ichor oozing from orifices, and bloated bodies marked by Nurgle's symbols. They spread contagions that spoil crops and infect livestock, while their foul presence sickens peasants. Despite their afflictions, Pestigors exhibit a disturbing vitality and often adorn themselves in scavenged armour, showcasing greater combat organisation than typical beastmen. They are respected by other beastmen for their connection to the dark gods. Many Pestigors also wield magic, drawing from Nurgle's lore to enhance their abilities. Highly favoured Pestigors may possess the Tears of Nurgle, infectious secretions that further exemplify their loathsome nature.
After the Red Fist tribe was defeated by Tamurkhan in the Far East, many Ogres submitted to his will, surrendering their bodies and soul to chaos. Tamurkhan took control of the red-faced ogre tyrant, Karaka Break Mountain, and subjected the ogres to vile rituals and the consumption of chaos-tainted flesh, sealing their fate. Plague and diseases ravaged their bodies, and their suffering was alleviated only by embracing Nurgle as their god. In numerous battles, these plague ogres satisfied their hunger by crushing enemies in the name of the Lord of Decay, becoming increasingly mutated and corrupted until they were barely recognizable as the ogres they once were. The plague ogres seek out large enemies with either their giant swords or great axes in order to slice the enemies to ribbons. The Plague Father's realm have served as a spawning ground to all manner of demonic beasts and foul creatures. Among the lesser of these blasphemous creatures, although by no means the least nightmarish, are the Plague Toads, also known as Rot-Eaters and Sewerkin. These semi-sentient demon vermin are by some reckoning bloated Nurglings swelled by indulging their appetites and wallowing in the worst noisome decay. These malign demons are drawn to places of disease and decay in the mortal world, devouring the unwary that cross their path and finding sustenance in suffering and befoulment. It is in such locales as these that those well versed in the lore of the Plague Father can coddle the beast and bind them to their will.
Plaguebearers are distorted, cankerous demons, condemned to spread the rot of Nurgle. Where they can, these vile demons capture and harness plague toads to be their mounts, stalking and squeezing them from their filth-choked lairs in the darkest cesspools of the realm of decay. The plague toads themselves are none too happy with the imposition, but with plaguebearers clinging on precariously to their slippery, slime-covered backs, they have little choice but to comply with the wishes of their parasitic riders and carry them into the fray. These box riders, as they are known, often take the vanguard of a plague demon battle line, crushing into the ranks of mortal foes like bloated cannonballs, their riders' tainted blades slashing about them, necrotic filth and brackish blood spraying up from them as they fall, heedless of their losses.
Exalted Great Unclean Ones are the most powerful manifestations of Nurgle's will. Towering, corpulent demon lords, bloated with disease, decay, and corrupted vitality. Unlike their lesser kin, they possess immense arcane prowess and terrifying resilience, capable of withstanding apocalyptic assaults while laughing with grotesque joy. These monstrous entities do not merely spread pestilence, they are its divine expression, using contagion and birthing endless swarms of Nurglings from their ruptured flesh. Their presence alone curdles life and spirit, turning battlefield into festering wastelands. Yet paradoxically, they radiate a perverse warmth, treating allies and enemies alike as beloved children to be blessed with Nurgle's gift. In the Empire and the Old World, disease is a pervasive reality, leading many to live in despair and loss. This suffering creates fertile grounds for Nurgle Chaos Cult, which exploit grief and illness, promising misguided salvation through decay. The cult attracts those afflicted by ailments and nihilists, driving them to spread pestilence across the land. While many cultists eventually succumb to their diseases, some mutate into grotesque forms, embracing Nurgle-loving ideology that views affliction as divine approval. Despite the prevalence of disease, locating these cults is challenging, prompting extreme measures like the burning of entire neighborhoods when discovered. As such, cleansing fires are often necessary to halt the spread of Nurgle's contagion. Exalted heroes of Nurgle are Chaos warriors distinguished by their devoted service to their god, clad in corroded armor and adorned with protective runes. Often without helm to display Nurgle's gifts, each hero seeks to lead an army of chaos, battering rivals for followers and often displaying severed heads as trophies. Particularly motivated to overpower the champions of Tzeentch, these heroes aspire to unite tribes and unleash a plague upon the civilized realms. A victorious warlord may even achieve demonhood, fulfilling the ultimate ambition of every exalted hero. Those plague-bearers who have excelled at spreading the Lord's plagues, or have been impeccable in their tallies, become exalted in the eyes of Nurgle, who bestows upon them yet more contagions. Those who do not simply slog away into puddles of slime from the sheer number of these gifts become exalted plague-bearers, paragons of pestilence and filth. Exalted plague-bearers are also gifted the finest plague swords from their grandfathers' armories. Forged of ancient iron, badly rusted and festering with 1,000 diseases, the slightest scratch from one of these corroded weapons can damn a mortal in an instant. They can also hurl at the foe plague-infused skulls, known as a death's head, which were severed heads which they plunged deep into the open weeping sword scattered along their bodies.
Heralds of Nurgle are exalted lesser demons known as Plaguebearers, granted greater power by the Lord of Decay. They often lead Nurglish demonic armies and exhibit diverse appearances due to the variable nature of Nurgle's rot, which transforms souls into Plaguebearers in the Garden of Nurgle. The longer a mortal can resist this disease, the more formidable the resulting demon becomes in Nurgle's eyes. Thus, resilient souls form the repulsive Heralds, demonstrating that even the strongest cannot escape disease. Despite their grotesque forms, Heralds possess unexpected strength and resilience, along with a jovial demeanour that contrasts with the weariness of their Plaguebearer minions. These demons serve as living proof of Nurgle's pervasive influence over life and death.
Nurgle mortal servants are among the hardiest in the Chaos Pantheon. manifesting as grotesque warriors swollen with decay. These Marauders, embodying the Lord of Decay, display bodies covered in open wounds, parasites, and tumorous growth, yet feel no pain or fatigue. They often bear the three-circle symbol of Nurgle etched into their skin, a testament to their devotion. Relentlessly advancing through enemy fire, they thrive on chaos of battle, absorbing relentless attacks with unsettling glee. As arrows rain down and sorcerous flame flicker around them, these deformed warriors remain undeterred, taking pleasure in withstanding punishment before charging to crush their foes with monstrous strength. The Angels of Decay are elite plague-bearers mounted on ancient rot flies, guardians of Nurgle Mans, and harbingers of despair. They descend from foul skies to finish off the dying. Their victims remain transforming into grotesque guardians that thin the veil between realms. These demonic warriors have shifted the course of countless battles, such as the Siege of the Red Fortress, where they obliterated Wei Jin's Sky Lantern fleet with deathheads. In Battle over Blackwater, they sank the Thunder Barge Indomitable, dooming its supplies and drowning hope beneath the waves. Wherever they fly, death blooms and reality frays, ushering in more of Nurgle pestilent host.
The Barons of the Bog are twisted mockeries of Bretonnian nobility, corrupted by Nurgle and bent on recreating the kingdom in a grotesque, festering image. In the Chaos God's realm, they host revolting parodies at nightly jousts, riding plague toads instead of horses. Recently, they've begun lurking in the murky ponds of Bretonnia, deceiving questing knights with foul imitations of the Lady of the Lake. A rotten hand offers a fake grail, filled with a vile liquid that destroys the drinker from within. Many knights desperate for glory fall victim and are gruesomely dissolved by the tainted waters. Those who uncover the truth often do so too late, only to witness a monstrous plague toad emerging to consume them whole. The Barons now prey upon Bretonnia's sacred traditions with mockery and death.
The Beast of Nurgle is a truly horrendous aberration, no less deadly than it is morbidly and irrefutably ugly. Its corpulent form is both sticky and slimy, as a layer of infectious ooze seeps from its every pore and orifice. Despite its fearsome appearance and deadly attributes, the beast is an affectionate creature that behaves in all respects exactly like an over-friendly and easily excited puppy. It craves attention, greeting newcomers by slobbering all over them and petting them with its slimy tentacles. This does no harm to the demons of Nurgle, but tend to kill mortals fairly rapidly. Once the beast's new friend stops moving, its interest quickly shifts to another target, and in this way the creature excitedly and lovingly poisons and kills just about everything it touches. Trolls are naturally hideous and malformed creatures, among whom a wide variety of different mutated subspecies and terrible deformities can be found. Perhaps the vilest of these subspecies are the Bile Trolls, cursed, tortured creatures with an appalling hunger that can never be satiated. Their ability to heal fresh injury is less than that of their kin, overtaxed by their own endless suffering. Their touch is a little poison and their corrosive bile rots away living flesh in seconds. Corrupt of flesh and dwelling in living agony, Bile Trolls, unlike many of Father's Nurgle children, receive no respite from the horror of their existence in their dark god worship, endlessly regenerating only to be devoured again from within.
Should Nurgle continue to pile on his dubious gifts, the recipient will devolve into a mindless, hideous creature known as Chaos Spawn. Though their forms are repulsive, These gibbering once men are revered by the followers of Chaos, for they believe that it is better to know the briefest and most vile of existences at the behest of the ruinous powers than to grow old without drawing their notice. Insane and mindless, they follow the forces of Chaos into battle, where they rampage amongst the enemy, causing carnage. Having no mind or self-will, a spawn has no comprehension of danger and will keep attacking until it is slain. They are seen as useful but expendable assets by the warlords and champions of the Chaos Gods.